Okay, hopefully everyone can hear me all good. Welcome to the Trackstars TS2 Honshu 150 around the beautiful Suzuki GP circuit, and hopefully I can hear my fellow commentator in N-Spud, P666. Welcome.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, welcome to what is now the TS2 Honshu 150. So we've had our pre-qualifying done, where it was led by Duram 50 in first place, followed closely by Sir Slayer in second place, and then Night Walker 964 in third place, with Brocco Lily in fourth place. And then rounding up that top five was H4M Wallets 1313. So a great showing by the TS2 pre-qualifiers. They get themselves a main event spot here at Trackstars TS2, where leading the way is Little Blacko from the RoboSport Racing Camp, as from followed closely, only about 60 odd points behind Little Blacko, is Xylon 96. So those runner forms that Xylon 96 has had in the past couple of rounds, getting one over ahead of Little Blacko, is brought him back into contention there down in second place. In third place, we have JMX, also in the Total Mashbots Racing, but a fair margin away from his teammate in Xylon. And then we've got RoboSport in fourth place and Mickey's 123 in fifth place. So we've got ourselves a great lineup tonight, where we've got the likes of Mint Matt, Viper Z, Duram 50. We've got also, we can even include maybe guys like, maybe I'd probably even say even a Xylon 96 might be able to put on a great showing for these boys tonight.
Yeah, exactly, and I don't know about you, Spud, but if I can see correctly, I can't see a car number 14, Little Blacko, in the lobby tonight.
Oh, there's no Little Blacko.
Not that I can see. If I can see correctly, nah, man, there is no Little Blacko tonight. So as long as Xylon 96 can keep it on the track, as well as JMX, or JMX seems a little bit too far out. But if Xylon 96 can get a good performing, we may see Xylon 96 move up into that first place in the TS2 Drivers' Championship.
Okay, it's just going to be an interesting spanner in the works, and if I might have to confirm with RoboSport, that maybe if he's not there, then yeah, possibly that Little Blacko might not be able to make the race.
I just got a comment in here saying Little Blacko room is full. So what driver in here is not supposed to be in here?
I believe so. SDRT Mazda, he's just left now, so now Little Blacko's in. So
Okay.
yep.
Okay.
Yep, so lobby is now open, Little Blacko, so there is a spot for you available.
Okay, had my had a bit of a almost threw a spanner in the works there.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, no, that's all right. Well, it was close. It's a close call because it's past 6 o'clock, and you're saying Little Blacko's not there. I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah. So
There we go. Now he's joined the lobby, ladies and gentlemen. So yes, our series leader. I mean, why wouldn't he? He wouldn't want to miss an event like this. The Honshu 150, a world famous track in Japan, and a legendary track amongst all drivers, whether it's Formula One, whether it's Super GT, Super Formula, or even the Le Mans GT drivers as well. They love this track, and it is a driver's track, and it is a great track for racing, but it might not be. It's not a great track for overtaking, with only a couple of spots being an option for an overtake, unless you really game enough to make a move on 130R down at turn 14. It's going to be a hard one for drivers to make moves stick, especially in these cars, which they are a little bit more tail happy compared to the TS3 cars that we saw earlier on in the coverage.
yeah, exactly, and obviously we also race these in the main series as well, with just a little bit extra power and a little bit less weight. But yeah, these cars, if you tune them right, they're really good. But if you can't get the tune right, they can be a handful and a half, I should say.
Exactly. Yeah, so it's basically designed as a Honda test track in 1962 by Dutchman John Hugenholtz. It's a special layout, which is basically a figure 8 layout. The track layout is about a 5.807 kilometer circuit with Formula One lap record being held by Sir Lewis Hamilton, 1 minute 30.983. And we'd see if there's something more relevant for the GT class. It's the GT 500 set by Takaya Izawa in 148.261 in his Honda NSX. So we have 2 Honda NSXs tonight. Maybe they might be able to replicate something similar, but I believe going by practice lobbies and even pre-qualifying, I think the fastest time was a 146, so they've already smashed that out the park.
Yeah, exactly, and we'll wait and see if we can get a Honda up the front there, because unfortunately we haven't seen a Honda up the front in TS2 for a long time.
Well, you've got great caliber drivers in Sir Slayer and Nightwalker. Those two are really really great drivers that has come up the ranks in TS2 and even in pre-qualifying. So Slayer is it's a brand new name in the Trackstars racing community, as well as Nightwalker 964, and those two with their Honda NSXs are looking to make a charge forward. And going by the previous round, I believe it was Warpath actually had a great race with Xylon 96 in the US. But I do notice one missing name, at least from what I saw in the pre-qualifying. No John O'Stair 96 tonight, ladies and gentlemen. So one of the big names is out, and hopefully it gives drivers even like a little Blacko or Xylon 96 a chance to move up that extra position.
Yeah, exactly, and it's a bit weird not having John O'Stan in this lobby, but at least it gives another person a shot, as we haven't seen Broccolili in the main TS2 series for a while, so it's good to see him up in there.
Yeah, exactly. It has been a while for Broccolili. He's had a few little unfortunate last-minute pullouts, or maybe I think there was one race that he didn't get his car fast enough to qualify in the top 5. So it just shows the pre-qualifying is very tough, and the guy that was in 5th place only managed to get 5th place by about 0.18 of a second. So it was really close between 5th and 6th place there, and all it is just took 0.18 of a second to go from losing out a spot in the main series and gaining a spot in the main TS2 race.
Yeah, and obviously, as we know, that different times can mean like different placings, but that 0.1 can make such a difference. But also flicking back to qualifying times, the C Simrix Bathurst 300 that we did, I ended up beating Wiseacre by 0.001. So that, well, you couldn't even say blink of an eye, because that's close to time than a blink of an eye. Yeah, exactly. So qualifying time can make such a difference, but yeah, good to see some of the times that may be posted here tonight. Obviously we've got the likes of Midmat here. He was fastest in practice so far, followed by Viper Z, and I believe we did have Sir Slayer and even Robbo Sport up the front as well.
Okay, yep, so it's definitely some... Well, we've got ourselves a great variety here in TS2 Touring Cars. This is the 15th of the best TS2 drivers we bring out to you, ladies and gentlemen. So put your bets on now. Fake money, monopoly money. Who we got for pole position? DJ.
I know it's a bit of a repeating thing, but my money's definitely on Mint Matt. But as we've seen in the past, Viper Z can definitely pull something out of his little hat of his little Nissan GTR, and we may even see him on the front. And speaking of Viper Z, he's coming around the last corner just to finish his flying lap, so we'll see what time he puts in.
Let's see, Viper Z rounding up the final corner. It is a 45.9 to start off his first initial laps, and JMX right behind, 2.8 behind him in a 140, and a 147, and a 148, apologise. And Mint Matt's right behind, and he did not get his lap in properly, so he's definitely had a mistake there, probably down a 130R or spoon curve. Sir Slayer's actually moved up into 3rd place with Nightwalker in 4th, and we've got a few others coming down the line. Definitely Calypso, Robbo Sport, everyone's coming into flying laps, and I can't even keep up with the times coming through.
Yeah, mate, I can't even keep on myself, and I'm the one sorting out who to go to. It just looks like we might let him cross the line, and then we can look at some laps after that.
But I do notice a great performance there. Little Blacko in 2nd place there, only about 0.8 behind Viper Z. So great performance there by Little Blacko. He needs to make that charge forwards if he wants to really maintain his championship lead over Xylon 96, because Xylon 96 has been getting his name a little bit faster than Little Blacko's in the past couple of rounds there. So Little Blacko definitely needs to make a bit of a charge forwards and I don't really see Xylon 96's name in the top 8, so great start for Xylon 96.
Yeah, not a great start by him.
Great start by Little Blacko.
Yeah. No, yeah, great
Well
start
done.
by Little Blacko there, and obviously it might be good for him seeing Zolan down there in 14th, but obviously with still 2 minutes 50 to go, they may have 2, maybe 3 laps left if they can cross the line in time, but as it stands, yeah, even Mint Matt is down the orders as well, so it looks like he might have had a bit of a rough time, but we'll just watch him come through here.
I believe Mint Matt didn't have a great first lap there, so he's definitely just pulled out a little bit, and he might be making his way into the pit lane. No, he doesn't. So he actually continues onto the main straight. Is he going to improve his time? Is he going to get pole position? He has done so far by a comfortable margin there. I'm not so sure. Does that say 0.9 over Viper Z?
That does say 0.9. That is a 0.902. So Mint Matt's done a 145.057, and you've got Viper behind in a 145.959. So that Mint Matt
by Mint Matt there.
Mint Matt has pulled something definitely out of that Nissan to get it around the track to put in that 145 flat.
Oh, as we see, Viper said run a little bit wide there, and he's gone back into the pit lane. He's going to need to hurry up because he's only got about 1:50 left, and I believe that's going to be it. He's not going to be able to make the finish line, so he's just coming out of the pits now, 1:42. I don't think that's going to be possible, but I guess anything can happen with Viper said. Just cut a few corners here and there, just to shortcut your way to the finish line. But I'm not so sure if he's going to be able to get another lap in. But keep an eye on him, and we'll wait and see. But we see back down there, so Xylon 96 is actually up into 3rd place. So what was going to be what Xylon wasn't hoping for. He didn't even set a lap in, and Little Blacko was high up there. But Xylon 96 has got a fair margin over Little Blacko there. He's got about 0.3 on him. So this is a great performance and a great surge for Xylon 96 in his championship battle with Little Blacko in the number 14 RoboSport Racing Nissan.
Yeah, exactly, and by the looks of things, Xylon's going faster again by 0.153, but Blacko might have a little bit of a toe there from Broccolilli, which could either help him or not help him, depending on how it plays out with Brocco. But Brocco looks like he might be on a fast lap as well, so...
Yeah, I believe that the dirty air is going to really kick in for Little Blacko there. It's not really a track you want to be behind someone's rear wing because the dirty air can be really affected, especially at a track at Suzuka. But Little Black, we'll have to wait and see. Maybe Little Blacko can get a really good slipstream down the back straight, as we see Sir Slayer actually move up into 3rd place. So that's a great lap by Sir Slayer. But we look towards Little Blacko as he's coming up towards Cassio chicane there. Is he going to get compromised by Broccolilli down in 9th place? Can Little Blacko come across the checkered flag and get himself ahead of his rival in the championship? Xylon 96 with Toll Mashbuzz Racing coming up towards the checkered flag. Can Little Blacko improve his lap time? He doesn't. So he's actually gone. He actually hasn't been able to set a proper lap time there. He probably didn't get any. Probably that was his out lap there. So unfortunately,
he hasn't.
Viper's said. Yeah,
sorry to.
Viper's said just missed out there. So
yeah,
Viper's said.
Sorry to cut you off there, but Duran 50 actually put in a 145.6, so he's gone up onto the front row. So we got Mint Matt in 1st, Duran 50 in 2nd, Vipers are just missing that next lap in 3rd.
He only missed it probably by like literally a fraction of a second there. He would have been pushing to make that finish line. So Slayer up into 4th place. So we have to really keep an eye on Xylon, Little Blacko, and even RoboSport. A great performance by RoboSport in 7th place there. So one to keep an eye on for RoboSport come the race. And he's always a little bit quiet in the race, but hopefully he can make a charge forwards. But this is the main driver we want to see. Xylon 96. He's actually 0.010 down on his personal best. So there's a lot of time left to be made up into this section, coming up to the end of Spoon Curve and 130R, and then the Cassia chicane here. So Xylon 96, can he keep himself ahead of Little Blacko? Only time will tell within about 40 seconds time.
Yeah, exactly, and obviously being 0.010, you can make up some sort of time. As Mint Matt goes even faster with a 144.7. This man is on steroids. He's incredible.
Exactly. It's an unbelievable performance, and that's why he is a 2015 GT Academy champion and basically a Gran Turismo Sport World Tour champion as well. So he's definitely up there with the best of the best, and we're seeing that here at TS2. So Xylon 96 was a little bit 0.3 down on his time there, but can he find anything in this last bit of section off the track here at the Suzuka GP circuit. Can he improve his lap time? It doesn't look like it, so he's only 0.2 away from his fastest, but this is the most important thing. Can Little Blacker improve? He's actually down, so he's well down the order there, so down in 6th place. So you could say, in a way, advantage to Xylon 96 ahead of the championship battle between him and Little Blacker.
Yeah, exactly, and this may bring in some good battles in the race, because we've got Vipers there down in 3rd, but he will be starting on the inside there, so anything, no holds barred into turn 1 and 2, so hopefully they can all keep it clean into turn 1, 2, all the way through the S's, and see who can pull out on front. So we got Matt on the front row, followed by Duran 50 and Viper Z rounding out the top 3.
So we bring ourselves Trackstars Racing Series, brings you live and free on the Trackstars Racing Series YouTube channel, where we are live for Trackstars TS2 Honshu 150 race 1 of 2 races for a 10-lapper. Mid-Matt on pole position for the BCG Racing with Duran 50 CP Motorsport. As we wait for those lights to go out, it's going to be lights out, green flag racing. It is Mid-Matt, that's got a perfect start, and as you called it there, Viper has got himself an excellent start in 2nd place there. He might be able to make a move on Duran 50 around the outside, and he has done perfectly, but Duran's going to fight that, and he's going to retake 2nd place there. And as we see down there, back where Little Blacko is, Blacko's dropped down the order, with Xylon 96 fending off Robbo Sport there, and right down the back in 6th place there. So Little Blacko had a terrible start from 6th place and dropped himself back down to 9th there. So not what he needs for his championship battle there, DJ.
Yeah, he's dropped back all the way down to 11th, but as we see here...
He's actually dropped down, so he has dropped down to 11th there. So it's going from bad to worse. A Little Blacker with Rugworth on his tail. H4M Wallet 1313 right behind. Chef Toddy for the SDRT Motorsport entry in 14th place. And Devlin Calypso, our sole international here at TS2 in 15th place there. So a hectic first lap there, but Duran 50, who we thought lost his position there at the beginning of the race, has actually managed to fight through and fight 5% and still inherit 2nd place come to the end, at least to the end of Spoon Curve.
Yeah, exactly, and obviously Xylon 96 is there in 5th, so that's unfortunate there for Blacko. So he's got a decent amount of positions there to make up, but obviously we know how fast these drivers are, so I'm not too sure this is going to be easy for Blacko as such.
Well, he's got a fast driver in Night Walker and Rocket Lily ahead of him, so he's going to have to either sit patient or he's just going to have to start making moves, because you see as well up there in 6th place, JMX is actually ahead, it's actually behind.
Whoa!
Whoa! Little Blacko!
Oh, looks like
going on?
A little bit of lag there.
That's scared.
That's scared.
Out of me.
Oh, and me too. Jesus.
I was about to say that.
What's happened here?
Has Mid-Matt actually had an issue there? Look, let's look up towards the front. Did Mid-Matt have a bit? Whoa, what's going on with Mid-Matt there? And Duran 50's gone off as well. So something's gone on here between Mid-Matt and Duran 50. And Mid-Matt's just having what was going to be leading the race at the end of the first lap. He's actually dropped down to at least last place there. So Mid-Matt and his surge towards the front. What is going on? What happened here?
I've just caught the end of it there, but unfortunately I couldn't get what happened there. But if that's the case, I might be thinking that Matt might have put a move on Duran and pushed him off, and he had to redress that position. So that may have, I'm not overly sure. I might have to look at that one in the replay.
Yeah, we'll have to watch back. We'll have to watch that post-race. As you see, Matt is stuck behind H4M Wallet and Jeff Toddy there. So he's got a lot of ground to catch up, but this actually promotes Viper set into the lead of the race. So Slayer up into 2nd place with Xylon and JMX 3rd and 4th, with Robbo having a great outing in 5th place there with Rocket Lily in 6th, and he's actually getting a little bit of a move on there by his team, by Mickey's 1, 2, 3, as he starts to put a move on Rocket Lily, and Mickey's is going to get that move stick. So nice move. So that brings all the Robbo Sport cars 5th, 6th and 7th, and they're going to come charging towards Total Max Buzz Nexus in Xylon 96 and JMX there. So watch out, boys. You've got yourself an RSR army coming up towards you. But as I see there, Xylon is actually keeping up with Sir Slayer. So not only can Xylon get himself up in onto the podium position, but 2nd place in the end of the race, that'd be a great result for him in his championship charge.
Yeah, exactly. And depending on how his tune's going, it looks like he's got that thing pretty dialed in, to be honest. Him and JMX as well. So good to see the 2 MSR Lexuses up the front. So as long as they can keep a hold of their cars, we may see Xylon up in second place and JMX maybe even a third.
Who knows? So only time will tell. But we see Little Blacko making that move up into sixth place. He did overtake Minkes and Rocket Lily to be up in sixth place. So now he's got his team boss to worry about in Robo Sport. But I don't believe Robo Sport's going to put too much of a fight, and he'll want to at least try and help Little Blacko to help get those few extra points closer. I believe it's only about 6 points difference between fifth and sixth place there. So it'll be 6 extra points for Little Blacko will definitely help his cause for the championship.
Yeah, especially, what's going on down here in Robo Sport? Oh, see if I can...
Oh, so commentator's curse, ladies and gentlemen. I do apologise there. So I did say Robo Sport needs to probably think about moving out of the way of Little Blacko there, but not like that, Robbo.
Yeah, it looks like he's just missed his braking mark and missed his apex there, so that's very unfortunate there for Robbo, and he's trying to go down and then spins around again, so that's very unfortunate there. So
very unfortunate. So, so he's actually just parked up there. So yeah, he's not moving at all. So he's probably he did say to us earlier that he has a bit of a he is on call at work. So probably maybe work called him and said, "No, we need you in the office right now." So that probably wouldn't be the wisest. So that would be very unlucky for him if he had a bit of a call from his boss. But regardless, we've still got Viper Zed ahead, leading the way. We'll see Mid Matt actually making a charge up towards what was a bit of a weird first lap there by Mid Matt and a Duran 50 there. So no idea what happened there. So very interesting to see what happens.
Yeah, as we see in the chat there, Robbo just goes lost brakes, no pedals. So by the looks of it, he's had a bit of a malfunction there in his equipment. So.
Ooh, mechanical failure for Robo Sport. No way. That's so unlucky for Robbo.
Yeah, he was having such a good race there, but by the looks of it, Viper Z has checked out, 4-second lead over Sir Slayer, who can't seem to shake off the Lexus of Xylon 96.
No, so that's good. So it's good to see a top 3 multi-manufacturer in the Nissan GTR leading the way ahead of the Honda NSX and the Lexus RCF. Both 2016 models, both the latest models here in Gran Turismo Sport. We just finished our TS3 championship running the old spec GT 500s and the old Nissan, Honda and Lexus, but no Hondas in the TS3 unfortunately. But we see two Hondas, and so far a Honda in second place, with the other Honda probably inside the top 10. So it's a great showing by the Honda NSX team.
Yeah, exactly. We obviously got one in second place and one in 10th place, and with the TS2 they are allowed to tune, unlike the TS3. So depending on how the drivers tune their cars, depends on how they perform. So you can either have high downforce, low downforce, high grip, low grip. It's the way of Gran Turismo and how we'll react to your tune. So.
Exactly. As we look through the comments off the YouTube, we have Toby Chug, a mate of yours, obviously cheering on Viper Z. Joshua Montfort, just probably talking about the incident that happened with Robo Sport there. It's Racing as well is saying that he's cheering on his driver in Sir Slayer 1991, so he's holding up a great position there. So still not being able to shrug off Xylon 96 like you said, and even Papa AT is having a bit of a dig at you, DJ, at the same time.
Yeah, well, Papa just needs to sit back and watch how they actually race, you know, it's just pretty simple. But got Joshua Montfort there, hoping to jump in next season, man. If you got nothing to do on Sunday afternoon and Sunday night, you can either jump into the TS3 series or jump into the TS2, and you never know, you might find yourself filling in for a spot in the main series. Sir Slayer has a bit of a power slide there through that corner, and I tell you what, mate, you definitely don't want to be doing that with Xylon 96 on your tail.
No, exactly. So this is definitely going to help Xylon 96 think about closing the gap. So he's still within that range of just under a second there. So obviously, unlike the SF19, there are no overtakes in the Super GT. So it's all about the driver and all about where he positions his car on the track there. So as we see, I want to see what the gap is between JMX and Little Black. I want to see if JMX is doing a good cause in helping out Xylon. So he actually is. So he's about 1.5 ahead of Little Blacko there. So JMX has got a, unless he's playing, probably you could say in a way he's playing the Valtteri Bottas role and the Sergio Perez role of just being the wingman and just hopefully fending off drivers like Little Blacko. He probably might be doing what Alonso did exact to Lewis Hamilton back at the Hungaroring last weekend. So who knows? Maybe little JMX was watching that Fernando Alonso battle and thinking, well, I've got a faster driver and a little Blacko behind me, so I'll do what Fernando Alonso did.
Yeah, exactly, and obviously don't be Valtteri Bottas into the turn 1 at the Hungaroring, but
But I guess in a way you have to look back in 7th place. We did see a little bit of his car pop out at Matt, so he's definitely on the charge up into 6th place now. So can it be possible? I mean, Matt has got himself a great chance to get himself at least in the 4th place, but can he actually get himself back up into the podium positions with about 5 laps to go? I mean, it's possible, but who knows?
yeah, exactly, and obviously he does have Little Blacko there, so you never know. If Matt can close this gap, him fighting with Little Blacko may be even better for Zolan, because then it'll drop Blacko down to 6th.
Exactly, but I think if Zolan needs to make sure that Matt overtakes Little Blacko, he probably needs to get that done to move on to Slayer as quickly as possible within the next lap or so, because he can see Matt is coming towards him and coming up towards him very fast. So Zolan might need to make a bit of a move on to get 2nd place there, but Slayer and he's doing a great job keeping his Honda NSX nice and straight, with Silent right behind in 3rd place, but leading the way. And like you said, checking out his 5% for the Satellite Racing Team. He's got himself about a 6-second gap over Sir Slade, and is about to go purple on this lap 6 of 10. So he's doing himself a great job. Probably he wasn't thinking about getting the win today, but I guess misfortunes with Matt there is just gifted 5% the win. But I guess you work hard for a victory, and I guess for 5% a victory over Matt is obviously a big praise.
Yeah, exactly, because I don't know about you, but I'd be pretty happy if I beat Matt, because in that practice times I was about 1.1 second off him or around that. So anytime I'm in front of him, I can tell you that's a good day. But
exactly, we see little Blacko and JMX
oh!
there. Yeah. Oh, Little Blacko's gone off, and he's made a huge mistake there, as he just caught it there, DJ. Thanks for that. But we've got Little Blacko and JMX, so Little Blacko got the slipstream ahead of JMX. JMX covers the inside, but JMX pulls the car over, and contact has been made there. So contact between the two drivers, and Little Blacko and JMX there. So that's one for the stewards to be looking at, and that demotes Little Blacko down to 10th place there. So what was looking to be a top 4 for JMX is now all of a sudden down in 10th place. So not what he needs, but this man, Solo 96, has just seen that his names gone tumbling down the order, and he's going to be thinking about making a move on Sir Slayer as quickly as he can, because Matt is right behind JMX, and Matt's on the charge.
Yeah, he is, and JMX just goes off there. Looks like Matt might have been involved in this as well. So
yeah, he has done that. So he did back off there. So we catch that replay there. Matt and JMX there. So it looks like Matt just missed his braking mark. It looks like he came back from a fair distance as well. Yeah, so that's a little bit of a shame there. So JMX got a little bit pushed off there. So at least a good thing for Matt. He did readdress that. So that's nice for Matt to redress that position. And that's actually promoted him down to 6th place. We see Broccolilli there. So this pack is insane. DJ, look at that, 5th place, 6th, 7th, and 8th, 9th, and even 9th place there. So wow, this is absolutely crazy. This is going to be a hectic finish with only about 3 laps to go, with JMX leading that pack, but lap promoted Duran 50 up into 4th place, 7.9 behind Cylon 96. So it looks like the podium position is set, unless one of those boys makes a mistake. Looks like the podium position is set, and Duran 50 is going to be settling in for 4th place.
Yeah, exactly, and the times between Sir Slayer and Xylon are actually very, very close. It looks like they're pretty much on par with each other. So
it looks like he's opened up the gap a little bit, Sir Slayer on Cylon 96 now. So the gap's opened up that little bit. So maybe a little mistake from Cylon somewhere. But nonetheless, he'll be able to keep up. And we've got to look down back the order. We see Nightwalker. So where did Nightwalker come from? So I believe the last time we checked in on him, he was in 10th place. So he's now promoted himself up to 5th. So this is a great performance for the Honda camp, for a Honda to be in 2nd and in 5th place. That's actually a great sight to see.
Yeah, exactly. But as you see, Matt there making a move on JMX. But there he is. There's Little Blacko all the way down in 10th. So that's a bit of a rough one, so it's hard to gauge on what happened there, but it's just it might be just dirty tyres, I guess, being on the outside there. But maybe that might be one to look into at the end of it. But going back up the front, Viper's Edge checked out on an 8-second lead, but still punching in those quick laps. Sir Slayer's pulled that gap out a little bit extra to 1.4, so Xylon's got a safe enough gap back to Duran 50 at 6.7 seconds. So by the looks of it, might be a podium incoming here for Xylon 96, and he's had a bit of a rough couple of rounds lately, so it'd be definitely good to shake that monkey off his back.
Exactly, it's been a little bit of a run of misfortune there for Xylon 96 to not get any more podiums, and with all these new drivers coming in, such as 5% Mid-Matt Duran 50, so I guess anything can happen here at TS2, and a mistake by Mid-Matt and Duran 50 on the first lap has definitely promoted up Xylon 96 towards the front, and to hopefully get himself up onto the podium position is a great result for the team, as well as his championship charge.
Yeah, exactly, and obviously he's only about 60 odd points behind, if I'm correct, so he's 72 points behind Little Blacko, so as long as he can keep up this performance, it looks like he might be going well for to close that gap up to Little Blacko, and depending on how race 2 goes, maybe even overtake him for the championship lead.
Exactly. Time will tell. So we're going to look down. Well, so let's run through the grid. We've got 5% for the Satellite Racing team in first place, with Sir Slayer 1991 in second place for the It's Racing Esports camp. Xylon 96 for Toll Mash Buds in third place. We also have Duran 50 in fourth place for the CP Motorsport entry Nissan GTR. Fifth place we have Nightwalker 964 is doing a great job to be fending off Mid-Matt down in sixth place there for the BCG Racing entry 89 there. We've got H4M Wallet 1313 putting on a solid performance there, coming out of the pre-qualifying in seventh place there. Broccolilli, who we just got a message from Joshua, said he actually had a penalty, and Broccolilli is just having a bit of a bad to worse day there, and he's actually promoted Little Blacko up into 8th place there. So Little Blacko's gone up to 8th, so Broccolilli drops down to 9th place. JMX is down into 10th place, so he must have made a mistake on that previous lap, down in 10th, with Rugworth in 11th place there for the VL MSR Racing team, with Chef Toddy for the Shadon Racing Team Motorsport in TS2 in 12th place. Mikez123, who was as high up as 5th place with his teammate in RoboSport Racing, in RoboSport in as high up as 5th place there, but now down in 13th, with Devlin Calypso is right up there battling out with RoboSport, but I do believe RoboSport is a lap down, so Devlin Calypso will be keeping 14th, but RoboSport is a lap down and in 15th place there. So very unlucky for RoboSport to have that malfunction on his pedals, but obviously looks like he's got it fixed now, and will hopefully get his race 2 starts a lot better this time out. But we look up towards the front, it is the final lap of the first race here, ladies and gentlemen, at Trackstars TS2 for the Honshu 150. It is 5% for Satellite Racing leading the way for the final time, as we see this pack is actually closed up massively between Sir Slayer and Xylon 96. So these guys will be fighting it out towards the checkered flag here, and possibly now even for race 2. So one to keep an eye out for the next race, DJ.
Yeah, exactly, and solid performance here for the top 5. Obviously, Duran 15 Mid-Matt had a bit of a kerfuffle there on lap 1, but that's racing, I guess. And Mid-Matt obviously didn't want a penalty to arise from that, so he pulled over on the front straight, readdressed it, let Duran 50 in front of him, and then addressed from there. So it's a good showing from a lot of these drivers, especially in Nightwalker, Sir Slayer, Ham Wallet, H4M Wallet, and Little Blacko down there in 8th place. But as we see, Viper's Ed come past the line in 1st place. Stellar performance there by the Satellite Racing car driver. As
I was like, what's going on there? So I thought Sir Slayer was going to run off a little bit wide there, so that would have obviously promoted Cylon up there. So that was a bit of a close call. So Sir Slayer in 2nd place, with Cylon 96 in 3rd, Duran 50 in 4th, Mid-Matt in 5th, Nightwalker, great performance, and even for H4M Wallet as well in 7th place there. Little Blacko on the recovery in 8th place, probably could have been battling it out between Xylon and Sir Slayer towards the back end of the race there, but only has to settle down for 8th place there. So one race to forget for Little Blacko, and hopefully for the next race he might be able to move up towards the front and hopefully make a challenge and maybe even fight Xylon 96.
Yeah, exactly, and obviously we know how close these drivers can race with each other, but yeah, it's unfortunate to see a lot of the top 5 drivers a little bit far back in the point standings, but they're all still giving it their best shot. with all these fast drivers coming through. So it's nice to see the drivers up there giving it their best shot, doing what they can to try and beat these fast drivers, as we just seen there by Sir Slayer and Xylo 96 that they did do that.
Exactly, but there's one driver you couldn't stop today or tonight in the first race. It is Viper Z for Satellite Racing, taking line honours and the victory here at Trackstars TS2 for the Honshu 150. So that's the first race done, first 10 lapper done. Now we're going to get ourselves ready for the next race, for the next 10 lapper coming up very shortly there. So it'll be one to keep an eye on, ladies and gentlemen, with guys such as Sir Slayer and Xylo 96. You could say out of position, but I guess in a way they thoroughly deserved second and third place tonight.
Yeah, exactly. And obviously, I wouldn't say much is out of place there. It's just racing, I guess. So they deserved that position and they earned it. So it was a very good job there by those drivers. And unfortunate for Mitt Matt, but I guess that's racing and that's what happens. So he's avoiding a penalty there, which is obviously nice in Mitt Matt. So racing is racing, I guess. And
Yeah, exactly. So he's done a good job. He's behind Duran 50, so that'll be one for the stewards to not investigate any further unless Duran 50 puts a claim in. So, but otherwise, it's Duran fourth, Mid-Mad in fifth. Nightwalker having a great performance in the WRT Motorsport, where we saw his teammate Warpath and Oz Soulslayer have a great outing in the TS3 Championship. So Nightwalker doing the goods in TS2 in his Honda NSX in sixth place with H4M Wallet. As we're saying, great performance for him back in seventh place. Little Blacko dropping down as far as 11th, probably 12th place at the end of lap one, and then having that mid-race contact with JMX there, and he's dropped him down to 10th, but now promoted himself back up into 8th place. So little damage done for Little Blacko, but it could have been so much better for him.
yeah, exactly, which was a bit unfortunate there. But at the end of the day, he's probably just blinked a little bit too much or did something or other like that, run a bit offline, and I guess it is what it is, really. So you can't really change what happened. Just put your head back down, try as best you can. But yeah, good performance there by everyone else.
Exactly right. So as we take a break, ladies and gentlemen, we're about to get ourselves ready for race two at the Trackstars TS2 for the next 10 lapper. So can Viper said make it 2 from 2? What are we going to see from Mint Matt down in 5th place? Can he work his way up from 5th to 1st place? Only time will tell within the next couple of minutes.
Yeah, exactly. But as we look to see here, I think Little Blacker might be practicing some race starts. But these drivers might be just sitting back down, having a drink, going to the bathroom, doing their all in between race rituals. But yeah, it'll be definitely one to watch in race two. So. As we just take a little bit of a break here, so we shall be back shortly.
It's all up to date.
Okay, welcome back everyone. Sorry about that. It was a little bit of a short break there. We're just getting the lobby settings finalised, ready to go for race 2 of the Honshu 150 for the Trackstars TS2 series.
We're going to get ourselves underway very shortly, like you said. So, like I did mention, so who do we think might be able to make that charge forward? So I believe one driver we will have to keep an eye on, which was the fastest pace setter who comfortably took pole position, was Mint Matt, and down in the BCG Motorsport entry. But he just down into 5th place, made a couple of mistakes during that race. And yeah, all of a sudden he dropped himself down as far back as 14th and recovered his way up into 5th place, which was great. So hopefully, for Mint Matt's sake, he might be able to get himself a good start and probably put the fight towards Viper for the lead, or for the win, sorry.
Yeah, exactly. And obviously, as long as Viper Z puts in a good performance, you'll see him get the round win. So unless Viper Z gets the DNF, you might see Mint Matt say get about a 3rd as a round win, but if that does happen, you'll see Sir Slayer, a person who's come through from TS2 pre-qualifying, take out the round win as long as he can put in a good performance. But don't rule out the old man of Xylon, young man, 96. I'm pretty sure he's as old as me.
He's about 25 years old. He told me the other day his quarter life crisis has just started. So if his quarter life crisis is getting podiums at Trackstars, then it's a great birthday present for him. So Xylon 96, yes, like you said, he finished 3rd place in that race. So one to keep an eye on him, definitely for sure. And whether he can match the pace such as Duran 50 and Mint Matt, I'm not so sure. But he definitely has to battle on with Sir Slayer, and even with Little Blacko down in 8th place, making that charge forwards. Maybe we might be able to get a bit of a lap time in, and we might be able to catch Mickey's to take us a lap around Suzuka, this lovely track that is Suzuka Circuit. So he's coming up towards the first S's of the sections, turns 3, 4, and 5, and 6, all the way up to Gyaku Bank down in turn 6, which he's approaching right now. So he's getting that, making sure you just hug that inside line as much as you can, just before you cut back onto the right, and then just make a quick snap of steering to the left-hand side through Dunlop Curve. As he's approaching now, turn 7, turn 8, he's coming up towards the first Degna curve. So Degna 1, that's pretty much basically a lift off the throttle, and then back onto the throttle, and then a quick dab of the brake into Degna 2. It's coming up towards turn 10 and 11, which is the hairpin corner. Just a nice solid braking position. So this is the corner that really troubles drivers and which line to take there. But Mickey's a little bit slidey through there, so unfortunate. So that's definitely not going to improve his lap time. So coming up through turn 12, turn 13. This is basically 200 R, so 130 R is coming along the way, but this is 200 R. So as we see him coming up towards the entry of Spoon Corner, so it's a really long left-hander. So basically the whole car basically has a little bit of a slight left-hand modulations with the throttle, with the controller pad, or with the steering wheel. So your car basically is turning left. As we see, Mick is not really executing the crossover back straight nicely there. So he's just pulled out of that. So, well, no, he hasn't actually. So he's gone through 130R there, and is coming up towards Casio Triangle, turns 15, 16, and coming up towards the final corner to complete a lap here at Suzuka Circuit in Japan.
Yeah, exactly, and obviously it's a very nice circuit to race around, and a very late Saturday morning welcome to Joshua Montford, who is in Arizona in the US. It's good to see that Trackstars is expanding over to the US and Europe as well. Obviously we got Devlin Calypso from Germany. We also have the likes of Belgium, yes.
Confusing with the flag.
Same colour flag, just the opposite direction.
Yeah, that's right. One's vertical, one's horizontal.
Yeah, so you got Devlin Calypso from Belgium there, and obviously we have Scarleo too as well, and Gabans, who is from Germany but currently lives in Australia. So as we get ready to go racing here for race 2 of the Honshu 150 for the Trackstars TS2 series, I'll let N-Spud P666 take the reins of the race start.
Towards the front pole position after the end of race 1, it is 5% for Satellite Racing ahead of Sir Slayer in 2nd place, Silo 96 with Toll Mash Buds in 3rd place. So top 3 manufacturers there, Nissan, Honda and Lexus there. So as we wait up for our lights to go green, Lights out, green flag racing, so great start there by 5% there, and Silo 96 looks like he might be able to get a jump on Sir Slayer. No, he doesn't, so Sir Slayer's got the second phase of his launch perfectly, so that's more crucially, Silo 96 has got himself a great start, as we see Mint Matt there get pushed a little bit wide there, so we're looking at Mint Matt trying to have a great starting, move his way up to the front. He's done it again, and he's made mistakes at the end, at least at the end of turn 1 there, so he's done it all by himself there.
Yeah, exactly.
No pressure at all from any driver, and he just caught himself there at the wrong place, wrong time. That's dropped him down to last place there, DJ. So not one for Mint Matt to remember this, at least this race, going from pole position and dropping himself down to last in the first race, and then now even dropping himself down to last here at race 2 there. So plenty of racing to go for Mint Matt to move up the front, but with the win, we'll have to wait and see as the lead is now still being inherited by 5%, 1.4 clear ahead of Sir Slayer with Silo 96 in third place. H4M Wallet there, so coming up from a few places there, as we see a bit of contact there between drivers in JMX and Nightwalker there, as we see that replay there. A little bit too far back there, DJ, unfortunately, but we did see JMX and Nightwalker still going side by side with each other and getting a little tap there from Broccolilli there. So Broccolilli was the cause of that accident there, definitely not what he wanted there. And JMX has gone round, and he's gone spinning round, and cars are coming towards each other. Chaos here, ladies and gentlemen, as we see JMX, as we see that replay, JMX looking to give that place to Nightwalker there, but just looks a little bit punted there by Broccolilli. Yes, it was a punt by Broccolilli there, so very unfortunate for Broccolilli, and to make that move, and Broccolilli was trying to readdress that, and just JMX had no idea, and he's now dropped himself all the way down to last place there, or 13th place there.
Yeah, that was too much to keep up on. I couldn't push enough buttons at the same time.
That's a bit of a hectic first lap there. So hopefully these drivers are cooled down now. Now the first lap's over and done with. So as we see, 5%, Sir Slayer, Silent 96 in the top 3 with H4M Wallet doing a great job moving himself up 3 positions there to 4th place. Duran 50 has dropped down 1 place in 5th place with Little Blacko making a few gains there in 6th place there. Nightwalker down in 7th place with Chef Toddy up into 8th place after all of that melee with Minkez 1, 2, 3 in 9th, and Devlin Calypso, well, I was going to say he was in 10th place, but now that's been inherited by Mint Matt for the BCG Racing Nissan in 10th place there with Devlin Calypso in 11th, Bruckworth for the VL MSR in 12th, Broccolilli in 13th place after making that big mistake on JMX and Nightwalker there at the end of the first lap. That's one for the stewards to look at, with Robbo Sport rounding up the top 15.
Yeah, that was a very hectic lap 1 there. I just couldn't keep up. I seen cars going left and right, trying to catch it and everything, and it's just so much going on. It's such a little small space of time here. It looks like Duran 50's got that move done on H4M Wallet there. So Zyla 96 may be under pressure from Duran 50 down here into the chicane.
Exactly, so Zyla 96 is definitely going to have to keep himself ahead of Duran 50, but he looks like he's going to go on the defensive there. Zyla 96 taking the inside lane. Duran 50 goes really deep on the brakes, thinking about an outside move. That's not really possible around the Casio triangle there. So Duran 50 is going to have to think about making a move, at least coming out towards the end of turn 1. Because if you make a move here, this is basically going to set you up for the rest of the lap here. So Duran 50 needs to make that move right now, but he's too far back. He's about 0.2 away from Xylon 96, so he's going to have to settle down in 4th place behind Xylon in the S's, and it will have to wait possibly down at the hairpin down at turn 11.
Yeah, and obviously one person that hasn't really stood out as of yet is Mint Matt, so we'd like to be able to see what he can achieve out of this, but obviously unfortunate lap 1, which you can say kerfuffles there, but looks like Broccolilli's putting a bit of pressure on Bruckworth here for 11th place.
Yeah, so Broccolilli and JMX not in the positions that they should be in the TS2 series. They're down at 12th and 13th place there. Obviously JMX got caught up in that incident at the beginning of Spoon Corner, so a little bit hard done there for JMX there, and Broccolilli's who probably played the casualty in that, so he just one for the stewards to look at, and as he makes that move on Rugworth up into 11th place there, but Xylon 96 is holding off Duran 50 very nicely here, so Xylon has obviously got his car tuned in very nicely, but it looks like Duran 50's car is just that little bit better, or I should say in a way, the Nissan GTR has just got better mechanical grip over the Lexus. See Xylon 96 thinking about, as he's thinking about to go on the defensive here on Duran 50. No, he doesn't. So Duran 50 is going to stay back in fourth place, and this is bringing in H4M Wallet here. So H4M Wallet is doing great wonders here at TS2, and he's putting on a great showing here at Suzuka. As we see Sir Slayer there go a little bit wide there. Looks like he may have had to burn a penalty off there. So Slayer still maintains that position. We see Duran 50 thinking about making a move on Xylon 96. No, he doesn't. So he has to hold back here. So Duran 50 getting a little bit frustrated by being stuck behind Xylon 96, but Xylon 96 doing a great job, and it's his right to keep that position in third place.
Yeah, it's a very good job there by Xylon 96. Obviously having Duran 50 is, we all, yeah,
right up in there, on the rear bumper there.
As we all know, the Duran 50 was a newcomer to the Trackstars TS2 this year, and he's gone very fast, very quickly. So it's good to see the drivers up and coming, and he did get signed by CP Motorsports as well. So good signing there by Chase. So it's obviously will be alongside. He'll be alongside Woodsy. He's for the Enduros, is he?
No, the CP's got Speedy Size with Woodsy, and Husno with Papa AT. So maybe Duran 50 might be one waiting in the, maybe as a reserve co-drivers, but it looks like they've just got their drivers sorted out. So Duran 50 putting on a great performance in fourth place there. So nice showing there for Duran 50 in fourth place, and hopefully he can make his move on Xylon 96 within the next lap or so, because he needs to be careful with Min-Matt being very close in 8th place there, but he's a little bit far back compared to him and Nightwalker. Xylon looks to go defensive again. Duran 50 thinking about that outside move, and a bit of contact was made there, so Xylon 96 doing a great job, doing a very Fernando-esque style defending there on Duran 50. They're both drivers equally fast in their respective cars, but Duran 50's got a little bit more mechanical grip and a bit more confidence around this track compared to Xylon.
Yeah, exactly, and in practice I think that the Nissan may be a little bit more stable in a way than the Lexus, but obviously if you get the tune right, they can be all pretty easy. As we see Broccolilli leave the room, was that a disconnect? I'm not overly sure what happened there, so that's
a bit of an interesting one there for Broccolilli. Just had a bit of disconnect there, so just goes from bad to worse for Broccolilli, and obviously, yeah, just had a bit of a disconnect there. He probably might have been thinking about making a main series debut with the EBM Motorsport, but we're yet to find out on that note shortly. So we've got about an hour and a bit before the main series Elite, sponsored by Elite Brake and Mechanical, and Trackstars Touring Car Series sponsored by EBM, coming up in just a bit over an hour's time. But still, we've got our TS2 boys running. It is lap 5 of 10 with Viperset leading the way for the satellite racing team, with Sir Slayer still doing a great job in second place there. So if Sir Slayer can really get himself a little bit further away between Xylon and Duran 50, he's going to have a well-deserved second place for Sir Slayer 1991.
Yeah, exactly, and Xylon 96 is doing an exceptional job as
but it looks like he just got a bit of a bad exit there, and that's opened the door for Duran 50. We've got to get this gentleman agreement, ladies and gentlemen. It looks like Xylon 96 is going to have to pull out. He has done so. Great awareness there by Xylon 96. I don't think he needs to worry about Duran 50. His main target, his main focus is Little Blacko in 6th place there. As we see Min-Matt thinking about making a move on Nightwalker there. He looks like he got that move just done there, so great move there by Min-Matt as we catch that replay there. So right in the slipstream of that Honda NSX there. It is the Honda NSX and the Nissan GTR. Which car's going to come out on top? It is the GTR. So the fan favourite here at Trackstars in TS2. And looks like it just comes to show that GTR is really well balanced there.
Yeah, exactly, and he did just put in a faster slap in there as well with a 145.3, so he's a little bit off his qualifying pace, but as we know, race cars compared to qualifying cars, they are either set up differently or they are a bit either slower or faster. But Xylon 96 has put in a great performance here. Even down in 5th place is H4M Wallet here. He's done an exceptional job coming through from pre-qualifying to be in the top 5 with the TS2.
Absolutely. So it looks like so he's done a great job, H4M Wallace. So to be up as high as 5th place, that's going to be a season's best for him if he can maintain 5th place. But he's got guys like Little Blacko and Mid-Mat right behind. As we look down the rest of the grid, we've got Little Blacko, Mid-Mat, Nightwalker, Shek Toddy doing a great job in 9th place there, and with Mikaz 1, 2, 3 for the Robo Sport Camp in the top 10, with JMX looking to get close to one of his championship rivals in Mikaz 1, 2, 3. So he'll be looking to make a move of Mikaz very soon, with Robo Sport in 12th place, Rugworth in 13th. So these guys, JMX, Mikaz, Robo Sport and Rugworth, these guys are having a nice little battle out for 5th or 3rd place in the championship there, but they're all down the order, and they're going to promote guys such as maybe Duran 50 or maybe even a Viper Z might be able to promote them up, maybe to get themselves within the top 5 come season end.
Yeah, exactly, and obviously if we look at the standings here, if I'm correct, we've got Viper Z, who's sitting in 12th place in the championship at the moment, behind Benjo, Beast Racer, D Huzo and Chef Toddy. So at the moment Chef Toddy is in 8th place, so, and we do know that Benjo is now in the TS3 series, and we haven't seen Beast Racer or Huzo for a while, so you never know, it might give it, say, 1 or 2 more rounds, we may see Viper Z in the top 8 there, which will be an automatic entry to the TS2 every week.
Absolutely right. You won't have to do the pre-qualifyings anymore, but we can see Duran 50 getting really close on the rear bumper of Sir Slayer there. So the Nissan's doing a really good job around the Suzuka circuit here. As we see Duran 50, we've only got about 4 laps to go, or 3.5 laps to go between Duran 50, Sir Slayer and Silent 96. He's just got a little bit tail happy there at the back end there. So Silent's looking to really try and stay close to Duran 50, because if he knows that if Duran 50 makes a move on Sir Slayer, and Sir Slayer's gone off, he's actually gone a little bit wide there. So this is going to open up Silent 96 to make a move on Sir Slayer 1991 there. So Sir Slayer, as we catch that replay, it just goes a little bit too much inside corner. He just got on the throttle too much there. So very unlucky for Sir Slayer, but managed to keep it on the track. But we need to find the action back. Has Xylon overtaken Sir Slayer? No, he hasn't. So, but Sir Slayer's getting really out of shape in that Honda at the moment there, and Silent's going to capitalise with that straight line speed of the Honda and with that Lexus. Have great straight line speed as he's going to make a move towards the Casio triangle. Can he make a move on the inside of Sir Slayer? No, he doesn't. He thinks better of it, and he's just going to tuck in right behind of the rear bumper of that Honda NSX there. But Duran 50 has promoted himself, and it looks like Sir Slayer's got himself a penalty there. So Sir Slayer's got himself a penalty there, and that's going to ruin his chances for 2nd place overall in the standings there. So as we see Cylon get promoted up into 3rd place, Sir Slayer's now dropped down to 5th place, and Little Blacko's down to 7th there. So this is definitely helping out Cylon 96 in his championship quest on Little Blacko.
Yeah, exactly. That was a lot to go on there, and obviously the unfortunate penalties, and it's also promoted H4M Wallet up into 4th place. So that's an exceptional job there by H4M there. So it's
absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
And we see, and obviously Sir Slayer's a great driver, but can he hold up a driver in the caliber of the Mid-Mat there? So we see Mid-Mat going on the inside, he's got the grip, he's got the advantage, and Sir Slayer's now dropped down to 6th place. So I think if Xylon 96 keeps that 3rd place and doesn't get any pressure from H4M or Mid-Mat, I do think he's going to take 2nd overall at come the end of the race here, but maybe Duran 50 who was in 4th place in that first race, if he maintained 2nd, but Cylon got 3rd place in that first race. So I do believe that he might be able to sneak in a 2nd place for an overall line honours.
Yeah, and obviously it's gonna depend on it, but if Xylon 96 stays where he is, and Duran 50, depending on the points difference between 4th and 2nd, it will be obviously, as you were saying earlier, whoever qualified the fastest if they are on even points. So if I can remember quick off the top of my head, Duran 50 was faster than Xylon in qualifying. So if that is the case, then you will have Viper Z taking out the round win as long as he keeps it on the track, obviously. Duran 50 2nd overall, and Xylon 96 as 3rd overall as well. So beautiful performance here by Xylon to shake those muckers off his back, as we see H4M Wallet here getting harassed by Mint-Mat coming down the front straight into turn 1.
Exactly right. So yeah, just done a quick calculations there. They are both equal on points there. So it is very close between. So Mint-Mat has just made that move stick on H4M Wallet. So still a great performance there by H4M Wallet there in 5th place, and there's about 2 laps to go, and Xylon's got Mint-Mat on his tail. What would you be thinking if you were in Xylon's driver's seat right now?
You've got two laps to go. Keep a hold of it. Keep your car on the track. put your head down and put in your 2 fastest laps that you can ever put in, and try and get that podium overall. So my money's on Xylon here, my Monopoly money of course, but Xylon is a fast driver, we all know that, but Mint-Matt is also a fast driver as well, so as long as Xylon can keep it steady there. Sir Slayer also picks up a 0.5 second penalty, and he runs off the track as well.
Oh, so this is just going from bad to worse for Sir Slayer 1991 here. So what was looking like a great second position there at the beginning of race 2, it just goes from bad to worse for Sir Slayer. So very unlucky for Sir Slayer. He would have been second overall had he managed to keep his position on Duran 50 there. So unfortunate for Sir Slayer, but he'll make a comeback within the next round surely. So it's a great performance by Sir Slayer, so he can keep his head up high after a great performance in race 1 and race 2, but just at the end of that, just definitely not his race 2.
Yeah, exactly, but unfortunate there, but as we see, Viper Z come past the line to start his final lap of this 5-kilometer circuit.
Let's look back here. We've got Xylon 96 and Mint-Matt, so there's going to be a duel between the Lexus RCF and the Nissan GTR. So GT Academy winner champion as Mint-Matt thinks about a fake left, fake right dummy move there, and Xylon was definitely not phased on that. So Xylon 96 is having a great battle for the last lap, for the last position on the podium here. Xylon 96 is definitely going to probably take out a 3rd overall, or at least second, a joint second, but maybe but I think Duran 50 is going to get that because of a faster qualifying position that he got over Xylon 96. So definitely Xylon 96 will be happy to have 3rd overall there with his rival Little Blacko down in 6th place. But Xylon 96 and Mint-Matt is going to be a great battle for the ages. So Xylon 96 is just going to keep his head cool with Mint-Matt right behind him. He's looking to get a 3rd place after what has been a not so good round for Mint-Matt here. So he's definitely the fastest man around this track, around this 5.8 kilometer track, but definitely does not have the race car.
Yeah, exactly, but 0.3 seconds there to Mint-Matt. As long as Xylon has this thing tuned in properly, he keeps a defensive line down there into the chicane. Xylon looks like he might be getting a podium in this.
So this is the most crucial part, the exit of the boom corner. What's the gap going to be like here? So that gap has come down massively, so Xylon's going to have to move to the inside, which he does do. So he's going to the inside move. We're going to see Xylon 96 versus Mint-Matt. So who's going to come up towards the end of 130R? They're going to go side by side towards this corner. They do, but Mint-Matt just pulls out of the way, and Mint-Matt keeps that inside line, and Xylon 96 will have to concede. But as he take that outside move, he has done. So he's done an excellent move on Mint-Matt there. Can he hold that inside line as we see 5% taking the victory? So Xylon 96 taking a fast start. What a finish! What a finish! Xylon 96 and Mint-Matt there.
That was incredible.
Oh.
And apologies there to Viper Z, we didn't get him crossing the line, but that battle was too good to miss. So Viper Z coming across the line in 1st place. Congratulations to Viper getting that round win. Duran 50 getting 2nd, and an exceptional job. Fantastic from your driver.
0.093 between Xylon and Mint-Matt, and that I would have to say, as a team boss at Match Bars Racing, I'm so proud of Xylon 96 for that defensive move on Mint-Matt there. A pro driver in Mint-Matt and Xylon 96 holding him off for the last couple of laps. That is amazing. 5th place goes to H4M Wallet there. A great performance by H4M Wallet there in 5th, with Little Blacko in 6th place, Nightwalker and Sir Slayer, the 2 Hondas, rounding up 7th and 8th place with Chef Toddy. A great performance for Chef Toddy in 9th, with Miquez in the 10. So, like, we didn't get the finish, unfortunately, for Viper, but he gets the victory page. It is Viper, pole position, fastest lap, and a clean race for Viper. No challenges towards his victory, so congratulations to Viper taking the clean sweep here at Trackstars TS2 for the Honshu 150.
Yeah, exactly. That was a exceptional drive there from Viper Z. But Duran 50 taking out 2nd overall as well from the mishap in race 1. But one man, definitely my driver of the day, of the night, in Xylon 96 in the Toll MSR Lexus RCF 2016, defending Mint-Matt, doing that exceptional move around the outside, taking 3rd overall.
And that outside move, that's definitely one for the highlights reel for Xylo 96. I hope a guy like him saves the replay of that and just watches back what a great performance he's done. So Xylon's come so far in this championship, and he's looking to make that charge on Little Blacko and the Robo Sport Racing camp. there. So he's definitely reduced that gap towards Little Blacko there. And I think with the performance, I think it's advantage Xylon 96 over Little Blacko.
Yeah, obviously, if it does do that, I think that he'll either be very extremely like he would have overtaken him by say anywhere up to 5 points, or he is within that grabbing distance of that championship there. So unfortunate there for Little Blacko, but even one standout as well is H4M Wallet up there in fifth place. So that's
Yeah.
very good job coming through there from obviously from TS2 pre-qualifying just out of nowhere into the main TS2 series up into fifth.
So he's done himself a great job there for the privateer driver in the 1313 racing team with Little Blacko in 6th, Nightwalker Sir Slayer 8th, Chef Toddy putting in a great performance there, but I think that performance was caused by a little bit of that little mishap on lap 1 at Spoon Curve, but you got to say he deserved that 9th place, keeping his nose clean there for Chef Toddy. So well done Chef Toddy with Miquez in the top 10 there. So wow, that was an absolutely amazing here. As we're looking through the comments on the GT, we have Xylon saying, sorry for the turn one, thought you were going around the outside on the last lap. Bro, don't apologise. That was great racing. Even Matt's given him the praise. Good, all good, great battle. So if you can get yourself good praise from Mint Matt, then you know you've done something really well.
Yeah, exactly, and obviously that was a very good one to watch, and I'm glad we got that on the stream, and all done well, very good down to the TS2 drivers here. And if you're all new to the stream, we are going to the Cirque du Spa Francorchamps, or however you say it, in the wet. So that'll be definitely one to watch for. So we are going there in the formulas and the touring cars, and I think as well in the Porsches as well.
Not so sure about the Porsches. I mean, hopefully. I mean, I'd definitely love the challenge of the wet, and especially in the Porsches. But we'll have to wait and see what the big boss man has to say. I'll definitely love a race, a wet fortnight at Spa. So one to keep an eye on, ladies and gentlemen. But we thank you so much for tuning in for the Trackstars TS2 Touring Car Series, where it has been Viper taking the clean sweep tonight here, ladies and gentlemen. So we have Viper leading the way with Duran 50 and Xylon 96. So congratulations to our podium drivers. But for us, between myself and Spud P666 and DJSX Pointed, we will see you guys in 2 weeks' time for the Circuit the Spa Francorchamps Grand Prix.